This section might just as well be called Clear and Present Danger. The photographic evidence of code violations, frankly, speaks for itself. This is the utility room of Cottage 9 on the north end of Hen Island. Direct your attention to the large white box mounted on the rear wall. Housed inside that box is an instant hot water heater. This type of water heater is a demand heater, which means once lit, a pilot light is constantly burning. When you turn on a hot water faucet in the house, it simultaneously opens a propane and water valve to fire up a propane burner. This in turn heats the water flowing through the heater coils. The propane burner is about the same size you'd have in a barbecue gas cooking grill, or even an oven broiler. Now look to the lower left of the water heater. There you'll see a bank of batteries used for storage of the solar system. Not visible in this picture on the outside wall of this utility room are two 100-pound propane tanks used to fuel the water heater. Independently, the water heater and the solar systems are each desirable, environmentally friendly products. Together, however, in one shed, the two propane tanks on the outside wall constitute enough explosive to demolish the largest building in the city of Rye. Here's how it happens. Someone innocently turns on the hot water faucet in the cottage, which causes the water heater to produce more hot water using open flame. As you can see, located less than a foot from the flame are 12 solar-powered lead-acid batteries. Lead-acid storage batteries produce hydrogen and oxygen gases when charging and discharging. Hydrogen mixed with oxygen is highly explosive and can be ignited by any spark or flame. This may explode the battery case and cause a chain reaction in the utility room. Keep in mind there are 12 batteries, not just one, magnifying the force of the explosion by 12. This is a strong possibility by itself, but also note the electrical plugs and boxes just above the batteries. If one of these boxes short circuits, the same reaction can occur. The manufacturer of this equipment strongly recommends that all installations be performed and inspected by qualified personnel for a reason. These systems are designed to be housed in separate compartments, not in close proximity to each other. The system in this picture was improperly installed on Hen Island 5 years ago without any electrical or plumbing permits. The city of Rye was notified about the many serious electric and propane violations present on Hen Island. To date, the only statement issued by the city of Rye was attributed to the city manager, Paul Shue, by way of the New York Times article of September 9, 2007. The article read, quote, Mr. Shue said no violations were found when Rye's building inspector, along with county health and environmental officials, inspected the island in July. End of quote. Despite Mr. Shue's comments, having the batteries, electrical sources, open flames, and propane tanks in such close proximity clearly constitutes a dangerous condition and a violation of the building code. Similar to the previous picture, this is the utility shed for Cottage 19 on the middle section of Hen Island. The white box in the lower left corner is a truck battery. The two propane tanks are located within just 3 feet of the one large truck battery, all of which are located less than 3 feet away from the electrical and circuit breaker boxes. There are also exposed electrical wires from the truck battery and the circuit breaker box. Covered only by lattice doors, this shed is open to rain, sleet, and snow. In addition to poor wiring conditions, the electrical fixtures are not waterproof. When this picture was taken, the cottage was closed for the winter and the tanks had been removed. During the season, the tanks are connected to the two lines to the right and left of the gas regulator, which is the round object in the center of the picture. The potential for fire and explosion mentioned in the previous picture also holds true for this shed. And there's an additional problem. This picture of the same cottage reveals that the shed is in close proximity to the toddler's swing set in the play area. The shed is located in the center of the picture, rear of the brown lattice doors, and is within just 25 feet of the swings. Not 10 feet from the shed are 8 100-pound propane tanks tied to a tree, with 2 more tanks located nearby, for a total of at least 10 tanks of no more than 8 steps from the play set. The only requirement for storage of propane tanks on Hen Island is to securely tie them to a tree. If they break loose during floods and storms, propane tanks have the capacity to travel great distances. This actually happened on Hen Island in the no-name storm of 1992, where tanks broke loose and were found in the harbor and along the shores. At any given time, there are over 150 tanks stored on Hen Island. What would happen if just one of those tanks broke loose in a winter storm and collided a few days later with an oil tanker en route to the Sound? The resulting potential explosion would dwarf the Exxon Valdez catastrophe. Environmental damage and possible loss of life on the tanker would be devastating. Propane tanks can also travel, partially submerged, like a depth charge or passive torpedo. Imagine the agony of the unsuspecting pleasure boating family who collides with a hidden depth charge in Milton or Mamaroneck harbors. With one word from local officials, this and many other potential dangers could be avoided. Can it be that the city of Rye is unconcerned with protecting safety on the island and the environment of the Sound? Why have they never inspected electrical and propane installations on Hen Island, despite repeated requests to the building department, the council, and Mayor Otis? A recent news article in the Rye Sound Shore Review from September 21st of 2007 states, quote, "Substantiating that claim is the city of Rye, who hasn't involved themselves in the issue." That is, according to Assistant Manager Scott Pickup, who added that the city feels the island has complied with everything that has been asked of it by the city's building department based on recent inspections over this summer. End quote. Since inspections were never performed and nothing was asked of the residents, this is technically true. But ask yourself, why has the city of Rye not involved itself in this and other potentially dangerous issues on Hen Island? We would like you to view the following video of a gas explosion in nearby Edison, New Jersey. Although the explosion you are about to view is that of a natural gas explosion, please keep in mind that at any given time there are over 150 to 200 100-pound propane storage tanks on Hen Island. Many of these tanks are transported to the island at one time from the shores of Milton Point via the American Yacht Club beach. We have only a single photo of the 2006 propane fire, so we have chosen to show this video in an effort to display the consequences if a series of tanks caught fire on the island. Please remember, this is an island where emergency vehicles have no access.